Hi there, this is John Wilkinson again from History Made Easier, tracing the longer-term factors that led to civil war in China. Now, the United Front had been pushed by the Comintern to rid China of the imperial powers and usher in a bourgeois revolution. This would bring about an end to feudalism, replaced by capitalism and a market economy, and also the introduction of liberal democracy, with all that entails, an elected parliament and an independent legal system. In the Chinese context, this would additionally involve the social revolution in the countryside. This, the Comintern thought, would be the prelude to the revolution they and the newly formed CCP both wanted. The left in the Guomindang party, helped of course by the communists' Trojan horse strategy, were in the ascendancy. And the May 30th incident, when a young striker was killed by a Japanese guard, leading to more clashes and more deaths, had further radicalised Chinese youth. And it was mostly to the Guomindang and the CCP that they headed. But membership of the Socialist Youth League, renamed the Communist Youth League, rose too, as did membership of trade unions and peasant associations. But the Guomindang's legal status meant that it was able to operate openly, whereas the communists were forced underground. Also, Chiang Kai-shek, helped by Russian expertise and equipment, was building the National Revolutionary Army into a formidable force. Its base in Guangdong was secure. The strength of the Guomindang, as well as its political leaning, made the Guomindang-Comintern CCP alliance more attractive to the communists. A failed leadership challenge from the right only served to confirm that the alliance could serve them. And by the way, you will have to forgive me for recycling images. As you would appreciate, there aren't a lot to work with. But the last time I used this picture, I asked if you could spot Mao. Well, he's there on the second row, third from the right. But the whole complexion of the Guomindang was about to change. The death of Sun Yat-sen in March 1925 was to change things. Chiang officially became the party's leader in July 1926, but he was effectively its leader pretty much as soon as Sun died. He had been becoming increasingly concerned about both the Guomindang's shift to the left and about the growing assertive stance taken by the Russians. The Second Guomindang Congress, held in January 1926, elected 3 members of the Guomindang's left, 3 communists, and just 3 Guomindang moderates, including Chiang, onto its Central Executive Committee. And social revolution, notably the liberation of the peasantry from the existing rural social order, which meant liberation from the great landowners, now seemed to be a policy aim of a party that was bourgeois in nature and reliant on bourgeois support, including those landowners seemingly now targeted as enemies. Chiang was also at odds with the military advice coming from the new head of the Comintern's military advisory group, with the crazy code name of Kisanka, meaning pussycat, who held the Guomindang's generals and Chiang, in particular, in contempt. He also, like the Chinese communists, favoured delaying the long-awaited northern expedition to rid that part of China, at least, of warlords, whereas Chiang wanted to push ahead with it as soon as possible. Chiang hated pussycat. Chiang struck suddenly and decisively. No one was killed, but his rivals, having first been outmanoeuvred by his coup, were removed, returned to Moscow, or sent away on sick leave. It was a victory for the military wing of the party and for its middle-class supporters, and under Chiang's leadership, the political direction of the Guomindang took a sharp shift to the right. Chiang did not share Sun Yat-sen's views that the communists could be absorbed into the Guomindang and so lose their ability to influence events. His view was that the communists represented a threat and would ultimately have to be crushed. Right now, however, he still had need of them. Nevertheless, he moved quickly to strengthen his hold on the party, dismissing communist officials from posts in the Guomindang. Chiang would significantly change the Guomindang's policies, steering the party towards social conservatism, authoritarianism, and staunch anti-communism, a radical departure from the more inclusive left-leaning vision of the party's founder, Sun Yat-sen. While Sun had been influenced by Western progressive thought, Chiang emphasized traditional Chinese Confucian values. I have talked about its emphasis on social order, knowing one's place and respecting authority. And as for the economy, Chiang was a capitalist. He might favour state-controlled capitalism, but it would be capitalist. The one thing he had every intention of keeping, though, was the Leninist party, with power held very firmly at the centre, essentially by him. There was some bitter bargaining between Chiang and the representatives of the Comintern. Chiang holding the threat of withdrawal from the alliance, the Russians controlling the supply of arms to the National Revolutionary Army, before an agreement, heavily weighted in Chiang's favour, was reached, so that when the Guomindang's Central Executive Committee met in May 1926, a series of resolutions put the right wing of the party back firmly in control. Communists were barred from heading Guomindang's departments or from constituting more than a third of important committees. Communist factions were banned, and in future Guomindang members could not also join the Communist Party. The CCP also had to provide a list of existing CCP Guomindang members. In return, Chiang agreed to crack down on right-wing extremists, something that was in his favour anyway, and so the alliance held. And so the alliance that had actually worked well for the communists was now under Chiang's control, and the alliance would only last for so long as Chiang felt it served its purpose. His purpose, that is. I hope this presentation proves useful for you. Do please sign up to my channel if you haven't already done so, and do please tell your friends about it too. But for now, let me thank you for listening and wish you the very best of luck with your studies. Cheers.